President Bongbong Marcos vows swift justice for 4 soldiers who died in an ambush in Maguindanao del Sur. The soldiers were killed by suspected members of the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters in Dato Hofer, Ampatuan on Sunday, March 17. Marcos condemns the ambush, which he calls cowardly and despicable. According to the president, the tragedy strengthens the government's resolve to eradicate terrorism. Marcos says he has ordered immediate provision of benefits and assistance to support the families of the slain soldiers. Details about the ambush are still thin, and identities of the soldiers have yet to be publicized. The Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations and Gender Equality is again pressing for the issuance of an arrest order against Apollo Quiboloy. This after the Senate panel junked Quiboloy's appeal to recall and set aside the show cause order and subpoenas issued to him. Despite Quiboloy's appeal, Senator Risa Ontiveros ruled that the religious leader's explanation of why he should not be arrested was nowhere near satisfactory.
Isa pong naging maliwanag sa aming pag-review. His explanation is nowhere near satisfactory. They did nothing but rehash previous arguments they made for not attending our Senate hearings. Once again, I request for the Senate President to issue an arrest order against Apollo C. Quiboloy. He must show up. He must respect the institution of the Senate.
The Senate panel is leading a probe into Quiboloy's alleged crimes, including sexual abuse, human trafficking, and forced labor among members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. A show cause order was issued against Quiboloy for failing to attend the upper chamber's probe multiple times. The panel's ruling indicates that among the arguments raised by Quiboloy's camp was whether or not the investigation being conducted by the Senate was in aid of legislation. To this, Ontiveros repeats her previous explanations, saying that the hearings surfaced potential gaps in legislation. According to Ontiveros, Quiboloy's team likewise insisted that the resolution that prompted the probe is incriminatory and violates due process of the respondent. But Ontiveros maintains that neither she nor any other senator ever claimed to be the judge because the Senate is not a court.
A Senate resolution has no effect and force of law and can make no such legal determination of guilt nor deprive anyone, including Quiboloy, of life, liberty, or property as a result of its material averments or findings.
She likewise debunks claims that the Senate was not the proper forum to hear controversies surrounding the respondent, maintaining that a similar issue had been dealt with by the Supreme Court. Citing these instances, Ontiveros says the contempt ruling against Quiboloy was only proven to be necessary. House of Representatives lawmakers warned Vice President Sara Duterte that her attendance to the prayer rallies, where the administration is attacked verbally, may send wrong signals, considering that she is still part of the cabinet. One Rider Party List Representative Ramon Rodrigo Gutierrez says that while Vice President Duterte has the right to her free speech, attendance to prayer rallies organized to support Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder Apollo Quiboloy may be misconstrued. During the rallies, Duterte's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, accused incumbent President Bongbong Marcos of aiming for term extension and pushing for charter change. For his part, House Deputy Speaker David Suarez urges the Vice President to understand the mood in the rallies that she is attending. According to Suarez, the sentiment in the pro-Quiboloy rallies have been against the administration. He adds that unity and helping each other are what should be seen from the country's leaders. Vice President Duterte earlier showed up at a rally in Liwasang Bonifacio in support of Quiboloy, who is under investigation by the Senate for his alleged sex crimes. She had slammed the recent congressional hearings of cases against Quiboloy, which she also deemed slanderous. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista says the passenger service charge or terminal fees at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport would not increase until improvement is noticed. Bautista believes it would take around 1 to 2 years before upgrades are seen at the country's main international gateway. According to Bautista, the larger share of terminal fee income will still go to the operator to cover expenses such as salaries for personnel and contractors and costs to run the airport. He adds that terminal fees account for more than 40% of Naia's total revenue. On Monday, the government signed a public-private partnership agreement with the consortium led by San Miguel Corporation for the Naia Rehabilitation Project. The deal offered the government a revenue share of 82.16% in other incomes or earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. According to Bautista, the winning consortium should meet measures set by the national government to improve the travel experience at Naia. Bautista says part of the public-private partnership agreement with the San Miguel-led group includes the expansion of Naia's infrastructure, which she estimated to cost at least $2.5 billion. Philippine National Police has ruled out foul play in the death of former Bureau of Corrections official Ricardo Zula, who is one of the accused in the Percy Lapid murder case. According to PNP spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo, Zulueta was experiencing chest pain and was rushed to the hospital on March 15.
Po, yung mismong kapatid po niya ang naghatid sa ospital nga po at doon po siya sa ospital namatay. Ang cause of death na nakalagay po doon sa kanyang death certificate ay cerebrovascular disease, intracranial hemorrhage.
Citing medical professionals, Fajardo explains cerebrovascular disease intracranial hemorrhage is a type of bleeding directly in the brain tissue. However, a previous report from the PNP also said that Zulueta died of heart failure. Lapid was gunned down by motorcycle riding assailants on October 3, 2022 in Las Piñas City. Zulueta and former Bucor chief Gerald Bantag were named as principal defendants in the killing of Lapid. Police are eyeing 4 persons of interest possibly linked to the death of a Japanese national and her Filipina mother. The Police Regional Office 4A earlier said the bodies of Lori Litada and her Japanese daughter Mai Motegi were recovered near the backyard of Ligaya Oliva Pajulas' house in Tayabas City, Quezon Province. Pajulas is Litada's elder sister. Citing the Calabarzon Police Chief, Philippine National Police spokesperson Colonel Jean Fajardo says 2 of the 4 persons of interest are related to the victims. Fajardo also clarifies that there is no truth to reports that Litada's sister admitted to killing the 2. When asked about the identities of the persons of interest, Fajardo says they already have their names but opted not to reveal them so as not to compromise the ongoing investigation. Tayabas City Police Chief Lieutenant Colonel Bona Obmerga earlier said money was a possible motive behind the killing. Litada's other sister, Siley Oliva Olbis, earlier reported to the police that Litada and Motegi had been missing since February 21. Local oil companies announced mixed adjustments in the prices of petroleum products effective Tuesday, March 19. In separate advisories, the oil companies announced a rollback of 10 centavos per liter for diesel and an increase of 10 centavos per liter for gasoline. The price of kerosene is unchanged. Clean Fuel will be the first to apply the mixed price adjustment on Tuesday at 12:01 a.m., followed by Pilipinas Shell and Sea Oil at 6 a.m. This is the 4th consecutive time that the price of diesel decreased.